100 kilometers to the south of Beijing, China just built this. A brand new city designed from the ground up with space for 5 million people. But right now, the streets are completely empty. The parks are empty. Look at this massive train station. It's one of the largest in the world, and almost no one is using it. Where is everyone? Hey, and today we're diving deep into one of the most ambitious and mysterious urban projects on the planet. People are calling it the largest ghost city in the world. But China doesn't seem worried at all. Maybe, just maybe, this strange empty city is actually part of a much larger, long-term master plan. China has a long history of building these so-called ghost cities. Let's go back and look at some of the most famous examples. In 2009, an Al Jazeera reporter visited northern China and discovered this, the Kangbashi district. A brand new city built for 300,000 people, but at the time it was only home to around 30,000 residents. Time magazine covered it too, famously saying, "The city has everything apart from people." It looked perfect on paper, wide roads, modern buildings, parks, but the human element was missing. And then there's this even stranger example. Chengdu, located just 150 kilometers southwest of Shanghai. This city was deliberately designed to look like Paris, complete with its own Eiffel Tower replica. It was built with capacity for 100,000 people. Yet in 2013, the property developer admitted that only about 7,000 had actually moved in. Now, there's no official definition of a ghost city, but the term is generally used for places that are significantly underpopulated relative to their size and infrastructure. Take Kangbashi again. Built for 300,000, but only 30,000 living there. That's underpopulated by a staggering 90%. At the same time, other Chinese cities are suffering from the exact opposite problem. This is Beijing. 20 years ago, in 2006, the city had a population of 15.8 million. Today, that number has exploded to nearly 22 million people. It's crowded. It's congested. There's too much traffic, too much noise, and severe pollution. Many locals call it Deshengxi Bing, big city disease. So the question becomes, would you rather live in a ghost city with no people or a sick city with too many people? And that's exactly where Xiong'an comes in. In 2017, President Xi Jinping personally announced an incredibly ambitious plan. Build an entirely new city just 100 kilometers south of Beijing. The goal was straightforward at first. Create a clean, spacious, modern city with millions of brand new homes to take pressure off Beijing. But Xi's vision went far beyond a simple overflow city. He wanted Xiong'an to become the most advanced, forward-thinking city on Earth, a showcase of 21st century Chinese innovation and engineering power. China has done this before. In the 1980s, they took a rural area with just 300,000 people and transformed it into Shenzhen, a global megacity, at what became known as Shenzhen speed. One legendary example, the Guomao building. Using advanced slip-forming techniques, construction crews added a new story every 3 days. At 160 meters tall, it became China's tallest building at the time and was completed ahead of schedule. Today, just 40 years later, Shenzhen is home to almost 18 million people. Fast forward to Xiong'an. After the 2017 announcement, construction started at full throttle. The Chinese state has already invested more than $115 billion. Look at these satellite images. This is the region in 2018, right after the announcement, mostly farmland. And here it is now, less than 10 years later. Over 5,000 buildings have been constructed. An entire city appeared almost overnight. One of the crown jewels is Xiong'an's massive train station, one of the largest on the planet. It was built in just a couple of years using cutting-edge methods, including teams of robot welders. It feels like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. According to Chinese media, Xiong'an was designed in 3 distinct layers. The city below, a vast underground network of high-tech utility tunnels carrying water, electricity, gas, heating, and communications. Robots constantly patrol these tunnels, inspecting pipes and sending real-time data back to human operators. The city on the ground, this is where daily life happens. Modern apartment blocks, stores, offices, robot baristas that serve coffee, and self-driving buses with reaction speeds claimed to be 10 times faster than humans. The entire city follows the 15-minute principle. No matter where you live, hospitals, schools, groceries, and workplaces are all within 15 minutes. 70% of Xiong'an's total area is dedicated to waterways and green spaces, including a massive country park 5 times bigger than Central Park in New York. The city above the cloud, this is the most advanced part. A complete digital twin of the entire physical city, powered by a massive central computer system and thousands of sensors. If a fire breaks out, the digital twin immediately detects it, predicts which buildings are at risk, optimizes fire truck routes using live traffic data, and even checks water pressure. If an elderly resident living alone suddenly stops using water for a full day, the system sends an alert to emergency services. It's incredibly high-tech, though to me personally, it feels a little too controlling. Still, there's no denying, this is a city built for the future. Whatever your opinion, the fact that they built an entire modern city from scratch in under a decade is absolutely staggering. But here's where things get strange. When you watch almost any recent video of Shonan, one thing immediately stands out. There's almost no one there. The parks are empty. The roads are deserted. And this gigantic train station looks practically abandoned. So, is Shonan truly a smart city of the future? Or is it just the world's largest ghost city? The official target is 5 million residents. The government says there are currently 1.2 million people living there, meaning it's still underpopulated by about 75%. However, sources like the Wall Street Journal suggest this number might be inflated because it includes residents from nearby villages, not just the new city core. Plus, those figures are based on the 2020 census, already quite outdated. Satellite images of the roads and train stations show only a handful of cars. Visitor videos from 2023 confirm the same thing. There are people, but far fewer than you'd expect in a city of this scale. Yet this might not be the failure it appears to be. Remember Kangbashi and Chandusheng? Early reports called them disasters. But years later, Kangbashi's population has grown from 30,000 to 131,000, as of recent 2024 reports. Chandusheng grew from 7,000 to over 50,000. They were built extremely fast, and it simply takes time for people to move in and for the city to mature. China seems to be playing a very patient, long-term game. They know their major cities are overcrowded. They're building millions of new homes today in anticipation of tomorrow's demand. Chinese officials have described the Shonan project as a strategy to improve urban living conditions for the next 1,000 years, creating a new generation of cities that leave big city disease behind. Will these ghost cities eventually fill up and become thriving metropolises? Or are they something else entirely? I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this long-term plan will work? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I read every single one. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into Shonan. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Let me know in the comments, Ghost City or City of the Future. I'll see you in the next one.